I'm Vincent Balestre for the International Business Times. Now today I have two of Samsung's latest wearable tech items. On my left I have the Samsung Gear 2 and on my right I have the Samsung Gear Fit. Now the question is, are either of these devices worth your money? Now these wearables have some things in common, like the very nice customizable AMOLED screens, the plastic bands, pedometers, and heart rate monitors, but past that, they're very different devices. Even in this gaudy gold and chocolate garb, the Gear 2 could pass as a regular watch, if only at a quick glance. There's a folding clasp on the band like many traditional watches. It's relatively easy to adjust and rather comfortable to wear. The piece de resistance is the 2-megapixel camera up top, and now that's something I've still only seen on the Gear line. But here's where it starts to fall apart for the Gear 2. Although the band is comfortable, the material just feels cheap, as does the rest of the watch outside of the face. Even the underside is made of really cheap, ugly plastic, and it's $300. The Gear Fit is a bit different. It's a fitness band instead of a full-on smartwatch, so naturally it bears a strong resemblance to other bands with its long, rectangular shape. But the screen stands out. It got a few stares on my morning commute. The Fit also has a cheap plastic band, but it makes sense this time. It's much easier to clean off the sweat. But it's also sort of trying to invade some of the Gear 2's smartwatch territory, so it shows pop-up notifications, messages, voicemails, and the like. Here's a problem though. The text is usually awkwardly broken since you'll probably have the display on vertical mode. Sure, there's a horizontal option, but then you have to be one of those people who wears things on the inside of their wrist. Even then, messages still get cut. Both of these are tied to Samsung's S Health app for fitness info. It tracks basic things like step counts, heartbeat, sleep, things like that. The user interface is at least simple on both the Gear 2 and the Gear Fit, so there's nowhere to really get lost. There's a few simple screens for notifications and widgets, but it's just not a robust enough experience to rave about. The Gear 2 is capable, but not $300 capable. Sure, it can still be used to accept or reject calls, and it can be used as a TV remote? But it's not like it's large enough to read an email on, really. It can play your music, either over Bluetooth to a wireless headset, if you transfer files to the watch's onboard 4GB hard drive, or it can control your phone's media player directly. The Gear Fit can control your phone's music player as well through the same onboard media control app, but it doesn't have storage space on board. Either way, it's actually pretty useful if you shuffle your library on a run. You won't have to stop running to change tracks. But the Gear 2 doesn't take terribly well to sweat, and neither holds a charge for more than 3 days. But hey, at least you can carry an entire conversation on the Gear 2 if you don't mind looking like a low-rent Austin Powers. And don't forget about the spy camera either. Now if you really have to have a Gear 2, you should get the one without the camera. The Gear Fit has a place in the world too, but it's still tough to justify either of these.